I get it when you're standing in a noisy shop floor or on a ladder looking at a humming HVAC unit. The idea of spending a few $1,000s on a thermal camera can feel like a gamble. You've probably heard the hype about seeing heat signatures and wondered if you'll actually get any real benefit, or if you'll end up with a gadget that looks cool on the bench but sits dusty in a drawer. That hesitation is exactly why I wanted to break down the Fluke TiS75 27HZ thermal imager before you decide whether it's worth the investment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the TiS75 Plus isn't just another point-and-shoot infrared viewer. It's built for folks who need to move from reactive fixes like calling an electrician after a break or trips to proactive maintenance, where you can spot a hot spot in a motor before it fails. In my own experience, the difference between catching a bearing at 120C versus waiting for it to burn out can be the cost of a single replacement part versus an entire system shutdown. That's the kind of value the Fluke brand is betting on. So who actually benefits from this level of thermal imaging? If you're an HVAC technician, a facilities manager in a plant, an electrician who services panels, or even a solar installer checking inverter temperatures, the TiS75 Plus hits a sweet spot. Its 27 Hz frame rate means you can watch heat patterns move in real time, useful when you're trying to locate a leak in a pipe that's heating up under pressure or when you need to confirm that a newly installed heat pump is cycling correctly. The camera also lets you attach a 60-second voice note to any image, which is a game changer for field reports. Imagine standing on a roof, taking a thermal shot of a solar array, and dictating panel B12 shows a 15C hotspot, possible connection issue. That audio clip travels with the image, so when you email the report later, the engineer reading it doesn't have to guess what you meant. Another practical feature is the asset tagging workflow. Each piece of equipment you scan gets a QR code linked to its thermal history. Over weeks or months, you can pull up a timeline of images for a specific pump and instantly see whether a particular spot is getting progressively hotter. For a maintenance team that runs on checklists, that kind of visual audit saves a lot of paperwork. Now let's talk about the things that could trip you up. The TiS75 Plus is undeniably rugged. Fluke designed it to survive drops, dust, and the occasional splash of coolant. That durability comes with a bit of heft. It's not a pocket-sized camera you can toss into a small toolbox without feeling the weight. If you're the type who prefers a featherlight device for quick spot checks, you might find the ergonomics a little demanding on long days. Also, the user interface, while functional, isn't as slick as some consumer-grade phones that have thermal add-ons. There's a learning curve to navigating the menu for image palettes and emissivity settings, which means the first few uses feel a bit clunky until you get used to the workflow. Another consideration is price. The TiS75 Plus sits in the premium tier of handheld thermal imagers, and while the build quality and software ecosystem justify a higher cost, it isn't the right purchase for a hobbyist or a DIY homeowner who only needs to locate a single insulation gap once a year. For those occasional users, a lower-priced model with a slower frame rate and fewer annotation tools will cover the basics without the financial strain. From a practical standpoint, the strengths shine brightest in structured environments. A facilities manager can schedule quarterly thermal sweeps, tag every major asset, and have a searchable database that flags trends before anything blows up. The voice annotation eliminates the "who took this picture" mystery that plagues paper logs. In a busy electrical shop, the ability to quickly scan a panel's QR code and pull up its thermal history means you spend less time guessing and more time fixing. On the flip side, the weaknesses become more apparent if you're looking for a simple point-and-see temperature experience. The device's advanced features like the QR asset tagging and 60-second audio require a bit of setup in your software ecosystem. If you don't integrate the Fluke Connect app or a similar platform, you might not reap the full benefit of the data management tools. Also, because the camera captures high-resolution images at 27 Hz, you'll need a decent amount of storage if you're archiving dozens of sweeps per week. That's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to plan for. So, should you buy the Fluke TiS75 Plus? If you're managing a fleet of machines, running a service that charges by the hour for diagnostics, or you need to document thermal findings for compliance reports, the answer is a resounding yes. The ability to move from "I found a problem after it broke" to "I prevented a break" translates directly into saved labor hours and reduced downtime. The ruggedness ensures